We are here. We are here. We're in the lab. We're in the lab. And as always, this is Run Tell That, and our shows are always special. And we have some special guests, and they are all connected to a superhero. And guess what? All superheroes are not just in movies and on television shows and in comic books and all that. We have superheroes in real life, and so we got two people tied to the superheroes that we're going to be talking about today and celebrating right now. And guess what? May have some other people joining us also. And we got Sister Namika, better known as Mika El Kush. And we got Brother Randy Quarterman in the house. Glad to have you all with us. Glad to have you all. How y'all feeling?
Feeling good. Thank you for
Feeling
having
good.
me.
Thank you for having us.
Good, good. And I was trying to figure out, I was looking at something. It came from the producer. I was trying to figure out, like, some type of thing he got that, like, is that some type of, like, a Wolverine contraption or something like that? But I don't know. But we just going to flow right into it. We're going to get right into it. And so we are here, and we're going to be celebrating, honoring Uncle Bob. Uncle Bob, we're going to acknowledge Uncle Bill also. Uncle Robert Johnson, better known as Uncle Bob. And we are going to be talking about him and celebrating him and the Promised Land Farm and all that. And so, but we got to do this. Y'all already know our brother Randy Corbin, but y'all already know him because he done been on. He ain't no stranger to Run Tell That. And we said to all of y'all, share, share, share. So, Sister Mika, who are you? Who are you?
I am a Savannah native. Um, I wasn't born in Savannah, but I was raised in Savannah. A little bit of a military brat, so I was born on Fort Campbell military base. Grew up here, elementary school, middle school, high school. I'll save my high school for the end of the show, Jamal. And I went in the military, got married after I got out the military, had children. So I'm a typical citizen and native of Savannah. Currently don't live in Savannah, but Savannah's always home. It's going to always be home.
Right, all right. Glad to have you. We got Brother Jazz in the house. Brother Jazz and I just together early, so he done made it to his destination. He probably broke the law going down 95, but I ain't gonna say nothing about that. He left out of Savannah, so he's there right now. And I'm just saying, he left after me, so I'm just gonna let y'all know I left right after 5 o'clock because I know better than that. But
Man,
so I ain't gonna say nothing, brother. How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been with you all day. What you talking about? I feel however you feel. We feel the same.
I know you broke the law driving down 95, but anyway, we're gonna go on, Sister Mika. Sister Mika. So, who your people? Who your people? Because black community, we ask people, who your people? Who your people? We already know a part of your people. Who your people?
Well, Uncle Bob is my granddad. Um, Uncle Bill is my uncle. So, Miss Minnie, that's my grandmother. I'm trying to think who else. It's a lot of us. It's a lot of people. Um, East side, west side, Port Wentworth. We got a lot of people here. Got a lot of people here.
Okay, so the last thing, because like I said, people know jazz also, so that's why we got throughout you. Come on, people know who you are and stuff like that. And then we just gonna flow right into it. We got some things for y'all. So, who inspires you? What inspires you, Sister Mika?
Honestly, who inspires me are my children. No matter what I'm going through, no matter how bleak things may look, uh, that little hug, that little smile, that laugh, that I love you, mommy, that keeps me going. That makes me look for a way when I don't see a way. Um, they are my inspiration. They are my drive. They keep me focused. Um, what inspires me, I would say, is love. I'm big on acts of kindness, just showing people love, no matter who they are, what they are, where they from. Love, and it doesn't take much to show someone love. I try to instill that in my children. We don't see race, we don't see creed, genders, whatever. We don't focus on that. Love is a driving force. That's what inspires me outside of my children.
All right, and we're glad. to have you. And so we talked about saying superheroes. That's what we're acknowledging today, is superhero. The homegoing service of Uncle Bob that many of y'all know from the Collard Green Festival at the Promised Land Farm was held on last Saturday. The burial was on Monday. And so we say Uncle Bob is one of those true heroes, superheroes. And so we had to honor him with Rontel that today to acknowledge Uncle Bob. Y'all see Uncle Bob with Mater right there. But normally what happens, we usually reserve a question at the very end. We at the very end, but we got to do it in the beginning because we just going to go ahead and get it out. Because I had said to her, I'm going to let Randy and Jazz know. I told her I'm going to have to mute her on some things. I know. So we're going to throw it on out there, and then I'm going to follow with Jazz on something. So Mika,
Hmm.
what is the best high school in Savannah, Chatham County, Georgia? What is the best high school? We want to hear you. We want to hear you say that.
The best high school in Savannah, Georgia, Chatham County, would be Alfred Eli Beach High School.
We knew you was gonna be disrespectful like that. We knew you were gonna be disrespectful. We knew that. So my brother Jazz, you and I were together today, and you met someone by the name of Thomas Ruffin. What did Thomas Ruffin say? What did Thomas Ruffin say when we were at the King Tisdale Cottage?
He said, "Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis."
Oh boy.
Is that what you asked? Is that what you said?
Oh wow. It's like a conspiracy going on. Wow. Wow. I am stunned by this. Oh,
Hey, good one, Jazz. Good one.
That wasn't right. That wasn't right. Did I not? That wasn't the right answer.
I wasn't even gonna bother Randy because I knew Randy already. See, Randy was teetering. That he loved what Mika just did. Okay, hold on for a second. Again, we celebrating Uncle Bob Johnson, and Uncle Bob had some vision. He had some vision, so I just gotta share this with y'all. That is a text message from February of this year right here. Uncle Bob says, I don't know why Mika disrespected you, Jamal. She was raised better than that. But she's been around them beach people. That's right. And I guess Jazz and also Randy been around them beach high people.
Oh Lord.
Uncle Bob had vision. He understood. Yeah.
He knew. He knew, didn't he?
He knew. That's right. He was looking out for Jamal. Yeah. I am so happy. And see how I pulled that up? Because I knew it was about to happen. The foolishness. But I did not expect Jazz and Randy to go that way. But I kind of had a thought about Randy. But I said I wasn't going to say nothing Randy. But I thought Jazz was set when he heard Thomas Ruffin. So we're going to do this way. We're going to slow right into it. So Mika, who is this man known as Uncle Bob to many of us? But you know him as Granddaddy, Robert Johnson, Bob Johnson.
I know him as Papa. I met him July 5th, 1983 as Papa. And that's what he's always been to me. He's been Papa. Papa was very smart. He was always teaching. It was always a teaching or teachable moment with Papa. Um, no matter what it was, whether it was help with your homework, a Bible lesson, because Papa stayed in the Bible. He was always reading the Bible. He always had a story to tell, whether it was religious related, military related. Him growing up in the days of, I guess you would say Jim Crow days, and growing up and the life he had with his mom growing up. She was a single mom for quite some time, and it was a bit hard. So he had a lot of life lessons. He went to work early as a young boy, not a man, but a boy, working out in the field. That was when he didn't want to, but he started working in the field as a young boy to help his mama. And he grew up, and he learned a lot. He saw a lot, and he spoke up for himself, and he taught us to speak up for ourselves. You don't take no wooden nickels. You stand for what's right, um, and you show people that you mean what you say and you stand on your business. Make them stand on their business. If you know, whether it's customer service, someone providing you, you hold people accountable. He taught us that. He showed us that, not just by speaking it, but by living it day to day. Um, Papa was a mentor to many. He was a mentor. He always, as much as he may have hated farming as a young boy, he loved farming. We used to tease Papa. Papa, you always want to go out there and play in the dirt. Why you want to go play in the dirt? And Papa didn't look at it as dirt. He looked at the soil as life. He said, well, that dirt turns this seed into food so you could eat. So he showed us a lot. And as kids, you take it for granted, and as you get older, you begin to realize, ah, he was trying to show us something the whole time. You know, when we were little out on the farm, we saw it as every summer we went to stay with grandma and papa. This was before, the great grands came along. So it was six of us, six grandchildren. Our parents dropped us off and we was there the whole summer, okay? Every morning, except Sunday. Well, we still got up early Sunday. But Monday through Saturday, we got up early. We put on long clothes. We had long shirts. You put on pants or a long skirt. You had your socks up. We everybody had to have a little hat because it get real hot out there. And we went out there before day and we would pick whatever it was, whether it was okra, whether it was corn. And Lord knows I hated picking corn because I hate grub worms. Um, Whatever it was, peas. We would be out there shelling peas. We'd be out there cutting up. We done got our behinds tore up from fighting each other in the field. Okay. We played dodgeball. Uh, right across the street, Uncle Bill house, we played basketball. Um, just good times. The Promised Land Farm and what Uncle Bill and Papa did, it brought our families together. Though no one family or two families are perfect, it brought our families together. And that was amazing. And me and my cousins, we were raised almost as siblings, you know, because we spent so much time together. And grandma and papa, they were truly our second parents. You know what I mean? So we only know, grandma and papa. So this is new for us. It's just grandma now. You know, we always knew papa. Um, when we were little, I don't know if you all made the funeral and y'all know we sung the song Mr. Jinx, Yogi the Bear. That song was really for the great grands. Papa had a little saying for the grands when we were little and we would go to the farm. And this was before all the different fast foods came about, and it was really just McDonald's in the area. And he would say to us, he said, "Who want to go to McDonald's?" So all of us would say, "We do, I do." And he'll say, "Not today." And we would say, "Oh." So that was our little thing with him. Papa always came up with a slogan or something, and that was just his way of connecting with us. You know, he always found a way to connect with people. This man loved talking. Do you hear me? Ooh, he loved talking. And he didn't see a stranger. Okay. Everybody he met was a friend. Okay. And he had a conversation or a teachable moment for them if they would listen. So he was a person of many words. um, but his vision, he wanted to do so much with the farm. He wanted to do more than his body.
And we're gonna get into that. And I'm just
Okay.
gonna let you know, I read Randy's mind. Randy's like she's just like Uncle Bob. That was I didn't say, like I said, I read Randy's mind. Randy was like, I gotta get some stuff in before we go to a break. He sold out him and Jazz. You okay, Randy? You and Jazz got about a minute and a half before we go to a break. So Randy, Uncle Bob, I'm just saying, it wasn't me, Mika. It was Randy. I read his mind. I got to probably read mine. Go ahead, Randy.
Oh, you asking me now? No, no break. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we gonna go ahead and do that. Is it? Hold up. Since Randy, we gonna go to a break. We'll come right back. So that way we continue, because y'all see how Uncle Bob's granddaughter. Y'all see how she roll. Y'all see how she roll.
It's good though.
See how they look out for one another. See, they just try to handle people.
Loving it.
Celebrating life.
That's right.
Look at them, boy. Because they all conspired against me.
Need your garments cleaned with care and with a professional touch? Then bring them to One Price Cleaners in Garden City at the Old Farmers Market on Highway 80. Service you can count on.
At that time, said, if you be the Son of God, command these stones to make bread. God knew your food would come on earth. And God told him up straight front, man shall not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. So you got to say, God told you don't happen, you got to take it as word. Faith happen not when you see it. The thing you don't see, that's going to happen. You got to believe it as it's going to happen. It's already happened. So that's what faith is all about. If you can't believe that, you might as well throw your hands up and quit. So that's what faith is all about.
All right, so tie it back in here. All right. Somebody said you got to have the size of a mustard seed, right? How much of mustard's going for over here?
The mustard, they're going to 7 when they're ready.
All right.
But 8, mustard going to 8. Now, when in the farm, how much mustard can you get for 8? Who determines how much you get for 8? In the stores, they got a limited amount. On the farm, you got advantage. Each farm, I determine how much mustard you get. If I said, you said, I don't have enough food to feed the family, and it's what, it's me, out of my heart. Here, go ahead and put a few more in it, and that's still a bunch. I bunch them, and you take them. So as a freedom here at the farm, you can go back and get what you need. So it's no guarantee that you limit amount, should I say, that you have. A bunch is what you need. A bunch is what I'm going to let you.
That's Uncle Bob. So Brother Randy Quarterman, go ahead. Your thoughts, memories of Uncle Bob.
Oh man, I can remember him as a adult male that I am now, a retired Army guy. You know, when I was young in Monteith, I didn't speak to him much. I spoke to Bill's children a lot, but not them because I was young. But coming back, you know, finding my place in this world, and especially in my community, the Black community, you know, and coming out of the military, our bond was there with Bob. Our bond was strictly military first. So I understood his training method of always teaching, because he was an NCO, and that's what NCO does. We train the force. So I could see that part of soldier in him on a daily basis. And his vision of doing the buying the land, you know, farming, I could see he needed something greater, like he did when he served those 20 years plus in the military, because I was yearning that. I needed something instead of just going for day, you know. So him, what Nomika said, nobody was a stranger. He was giving himself all the time. You know, it was always just him giving himself to a bigger cause. So I respected that of him. So when we came up with the Quarterman Keller Foundation, you know, the first thing on my mind when we said locally was, hey, let's give a grant to Promised Land, because there was the pillars, especially being the one of the few black farms in Georgia, and probably the only one in Savannah at the time. And these are two elderly men that held on to their last, and one is still holding on. And I have to respect that strength of them out there in that heat every day. They could have easily been done, straight away, but they looking to be the pillar of the community, always giving. So they are a prime example of what our ancestor was, right? And to lose him is a great loss, but we gained so much into his memory of being here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And always teaching. And you brought up an excellent point, Brother Randy, that, when you said it, I'm like, wow. Yeah, because he's always giving those jewels every day. Brother Jazz, your thoughts with regards to Uncle Bob and his legacy.
Yeah, no, I wish I'd have gotten the opportunity to spend more time with him. You were really the one, both you and Randy, that really connected me to Promised Land, and both incredible depictions. I just remember the first time meeting him, and I saw he had a picture up there in the store, and showed him. I think he was probably standing by a plane, and he started talking about his military service, and and just talking about farming, asking me where I was from, about Sapelo, and do they grow this, and are they doing this, and are they doing that, and just it is rare that you, I think, meet individuals, Black individuals that owned land at the time that he did from the very beginning, and have sustained that land. There is still a Promised Land Farms. That is incredible to me, the legacy that he has left, and the power that's in that in Promised Land is Promised Land for a reason. And those are the things that I think about when I think of who he is, the mark that he leaves, and the power and the impact that he has had, even for me. Coming out there, I got about 4 shirts, mugs. I got everything out of there. Everything that was in my pocket that I could get, I got as a way to honor this man. That's how much of an impact that experience of being in dialogue and conversation with him has had on me. So.
Absolutely. And then when we look at this, you look at what you're looking at. You're looking at Savannah. You're looking at Port Wentworth. You're looking at Sapelo. Looking at St. Simon. And that's why everyone checking out the show, like again, I say share. There's something magical happening right here. Something, I'm saying, magical, majestic, and divine. You go on again. You see Mika. You see Randy. You see Jazz. Right here. You look at those connections, those ties right there. And all of them on the same page. And so now that's why I can throw out you, Mika. Because again, what does keep hope alive means? When you hear keep hope alive, what does that mean to you?
To me, it means don't stop. There's always a solution, whether it's the one you want or not. There's always a solution. Work through it. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. He would always tell me, because he know I've seen some dark days, and he would always tell me, he said, Pumpkin, I'm proud of you. He said, because you keep going. He said, I want you to keep pushing. He said, no matter how hard it is, keep pushing. And so I think for him, that's what keep hope alive means. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't let nothing deter you. Keep at it. Keep at it. It'll get better. Just keep at it.
All right, Jazz. And again, because you bought 40 T-shirts, going back a T-shirt down there, he put right there, keep hope alive. So Jazz, when you hear and you see keep hope alive, what's your thoughts with regard to that?
Man, I see exactly what those words are. I think about the struggles that our ancestors, had all been through and still, will go through every day. And I think about, the management, of this, 31 acre, really legacy and dynasty. And you know what? When it helps inspire me when I see people that are struggling with that 1 acre, with that 2 acre, with those 5 acres. And I say, or just with a little piece of land. And I say, look, no, we gotta keep going. Because people like Uncle Bob, you said he kept going despite. He was still showing up. He was still present. He was always there to, just impart wisdom. And he so much reminds me of my own elders, right? When you come into a space and you might have come there to pick up some squash or some watermelon, whatever, some collards, whatever it is, but you came away with much more than that. And that's because you had the opportunity to be in the presence, of people like Uncle Bob. I think of people like Uncle Bob. I think of, people like Mr. Allen, on Saplo, or Miss Cornelia, some of these other folks, my own great grandmother, and just, that wisdom and that power and that drive that they had to have, and to think with everything that he probably went through, and still he's saying, yeah, you gotta keep hope. You gotta keep going. That's something. Not everybody got that in them. But yeah, that's what I think about.
Absolutely. And so, Brother Randy, because you're intimately involved in it also with regards to keeping hope alive. And so when you hear that concept, keep hope alive, and Uncle Bob's perspective about keep hope alive, what's your thoughts with that?
Yeah, I mean, I tag along with Normika and Jazz, but I'm just going to add on the story, the folklore he told about the 40 acres of the mule and Eldrick Steele, right, of Sherman marching past Promised Land, and the importance of that land being given, and him giving homage to that guy Steele, right? So we have to now embrace that and keep that story going, because he was doing that all the time. As soon as you step on the land, he's telling that story about how that land was even acquired and given, of that 40 acres in the mule, right? General Sherman coming through there on the March to Battle of Monteith. So those are true stories that we need to keep alive, same as that hope of our reparation, right? Not just with funds. Of course, funds come with all of this, but just us rebuilding as a community. And, Jamal, we talk about it all the time, and I think about it. Farming is so important to us as a community, where we need to start all over and begin from that, what Bob was trying to instill, the teaching, the mentoring, the showing of feeding ourselves, like that needs to be implemented into our community now, instead of it being lost. So I praise him, praise Bill, even Dr. Grimm that's over there in the city doing this stuff. Like, this has to happen. This legacy has to still live on. And I hope that Port Wentworth as a city give him some kind of honor in that area, so this could still live on and people understand how important the Promised Land Farm was and is.
My brother, powerful statement by all three of you. Absolutely. Moving. And so it got me hit. Brother Rodney tuned in with us. Brother Tony Johnson tuned in with us. And so we got to do this right here, Uncle Bob.
Promised Land Farms. What's today, Unc?
Today is day before New Year's Eve. Then Saturday, green field open. Come with your greens. The gate is wide open.
Gate is open.
Gate is open.
Come get your greens.
Just like Motel 8.
Come get your
The
greens.
light is on.
And that's it. Just like Motel 8. That's, again, legacy. And so you all were talking about that. And Randy, you went threw it out there with regards to farming. Mickey, you talk about being out there. Jazz, you see that still on Sapelo today. All right. And so I'm just going to throw it out there because, again, it's like so much. How do we get the next generation to not value that? How do we get the next generation to value that?
I think we got to make sure that we honor, Uncle Bob and others, who are doing this work, the truly significant and impactful pioneers. We have to make sure that, we're not just talking about everyone in the city of Port Wentworth. We're talking about everyone in Savannah. We're talking about not just everybody in Sapler. We're talking about everybody in Georgia. We're talking about everybody throughout the corridor needs to know his story, know his work, and know Promised Land Farms. That's how we keep that memory, his purpose, his work alive, and we continue that work ourselves. That's also how we do it, and we make sure, as Brother Randy, you just said, that our local politicians, our legislators, those in our state and federal, they need to know. That's how we keep this work going, and we make sure that they carve out a space that supports, Black farmers, this farming, what he's doing. So I think that's one way to do it. That's one way to do it.
All right, Sister Mika.
I agree with Jazz. I think we have to lobby for our Black farmers, our local farmers. We have to support. And as Papa would always say, OJT, on the job training. Reach one, teach one. We got to get people out. And it's not necessarily because everybody doesn't want to have acres of land. But if you can get them to have their own small garden in their backyard and they learn how to appreciate the art of farming or gardening, and then, before you know it, they're eating healthier, they're eating more fresh um, fruits and vegetables, without all the added stuff. You know what I mean? Non-GMO type stuff. So we got to get the information out there to the community, and we got to bring them in. We have to lobby for our Black farmers. These are the things that we have to do because farmers go through a lot. And then, Black farmers, they experience a lot. It's all about that mighty dollar. And a lot of times the Black farmers don't have the dollars that other farmers may have. And that's just speaking truth. That's not, being funny or anything. That's just truth. So when you don't have uh a certain greenness behind you, you have to go about things differently. And so it takes the community to stand up. You got to get the young kids involved. We take them on field trips to the aquarium and to the zoo and all of this. Take them on field trips to farms, to local farms. I'm not even going to just say the Black farms, to local farms. Get them, if they see it more, if they see it more and they understand what comes from it, you plant and then you reap the harvest. If they understand what comes from it, they'll begin to get an appreciation for it, but we always think about fun, 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 and we never prepare our youth for the necessaries, I'll say, so that's my thing.
Absolutely say fun, 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 but then no work involved. No work. And we think that we
We gotta
get.
teach them to work hard, then you play hard.
Yes, indeed. And Brother Randy, we got Promised Land out there in Port Wentworth, but then also your legacy with regards to Zeke and Grace. I mean, I look at all that being all in the same kit and caboodle on the same ball of wax, and that is tied to that same thing, that legacy, that next generation. How do we get everybody to value that and cherish those jewels that we have right in our hands?
I mean, for me, it's just oral history. Oral history is very important in our family. To really tell it and pass it to our younger generation instead of just looking at, like the last generation. Especially if it could go further. Like, don't lose those stories. Like how Normika tells her story about her grandfather. You know, don't lose it. If every chance you get, tell the story. You know, tell the kids, be like, oh, I'm tired of hearing about Papa. You know what I mean? But it's seeds that's in there that they will repeat one day, and they'll think back. You know, and that's what's important to us in our family. A lot of them just stuck in the last generation. So now for me, Zeke being on my back, I got to keep mentioning to my family, hey, it's not just about my grandfather. It's about Zeke. He was the one that endured that pain of being enslaved and given that land, right? So, I mean, yeah, our grandfather kept it up, but it just wasn't him. It was Zeke. He was the beginning, him and Grace. Let me not forget Grace, because Jamal, you always tell me don't forget forget the wife. Okay, so Zeke and Grace. I mean, you know, those are our ancestors that we should never forget. And I'm sure in Sapelo Island, these stories are told that goes back to those times that we can't lose that, because once we lose it, then white supremacy changes the narrative, right? So that's how we lose ourselves even more further than we somewhat lost now, but we got to just gain that part back.
And
Go ahead.
And I'll just add too, Brother Jamal, I just, think about preservation of the story, but also preservation of the physical space, and you always talk about this, what is the master plan? What is the plan? Because other folks, they definitely planning around you. They got plans for you. That's what we find out even dealing with Sapelo, right? They got plans for us. So, but what are our plans? And I think a part of preservation is, honoring Uncle Bob and having a plan in place for what will be the future, of the space. And that's so important, because, the first thing that happens, and all of us deal with this, when an elder passes, man, it's like vultures circling. They're circling overhead, and all kinds of interesting stuff starts happening. Your phone starts ringing. Stuff starts coming in your mailbox, from somebody. People start, checking down at the probate court to see what's going on over there, to see, well, who all the heirs and this and that. And so it's so important to have a plan for what will the future look like, and what does, preservation and honor, of Promised Land look like.
Absolutely. We're gonna go to another break. When we come back, we got Brother Jazz with us. We got Brother Randy. We got Sister Normika here. We are celebrating the life of a superhero. That's Uncle Bob Johnson, a Promised Land Farm. Again, the Collard Green Festival here in Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill's still with us, and again, another superhero right there. So we're gonna come right back. This is Rontel that we say share.
Summer garden. So the time you want to grow greens or whatever, you come out and plant that farm. You get the collard greens until they're all gone. So you gotta get, because he said, without faith, impossible. Please God. You gonna see everything you got to believe in.
Mm-hmm.
I just see it, bro. We number walking sword.
We number walking sword.
Yes, I'm Robert Johnson. They call me Uncle Bob. And my brother, Willie Johnson, and the Promised Land.
Uncle Bob, what's your vision at the Promised Land Farm?
My vision of the Promised Land Farm is to plant fruit trees. I like to have each tree to represent a state. You want to make sure you don't wait on a deer rabbit. You got to get the grass out here before that chance, because the deer, you made a sleep over the grass wants to cut in the growth. You got to get the grass out before you can. Road is yours. Yours with no strings attached. Next Monday, which is 28th, until any greens, all greens. You sure you get the green free? Regardless of age, all you have to do is come.
Yes.
How did you get started with planting your corn? And from Bob.
So that's Uncle Bob. It's going to probably get a little ugly right now for some of y'all. It's not going to probably be pretty. It's not going to be a happy little moment right now. Brother Rodney is checking out the show. Sister Sabrina going to be probably checking it out later. But I'm going to say this right here. And Greg might check it out later also. Uncle Bob let Greg, Rodney, and Sabrina plant whatever they want. Whatever they want to do, Uncle Bob let them plant whatever they want. I come out there, have my sheet, I have my stuff, what I'm planning on doing, I have my rows, all that. Uncle Bob didn't tell me, Mr. Jamal, you need to plant such and so. Uncle Bob, I want to do the Jamal, you need to plant such and so. And Minnie just sit right there. He sit right there. And I had said publicly, Uncle Bob tell me what to plant all the time, but he don't never tell them. He don't mess with them like that. He just let them know. I understand that I'm just like, yeah. That's what Uncle Bob did to me. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it all out there. Rodney, Sabrina, Greg, do whatever they want, plant whatever they want. I gotta do it. Whatever I plant, I still gotta plant what he tell me. Have me plant like 15 rows of peas. My peas burning up in the field. It got so many. I was like, oh my God. Then Uncle Bob gonna tell me I had planted watermelon. I tell Uncle Bob, I think the deers eat my watermelon. No, deers don't eat watermelon. Next year later, Uncle Bob said, deers eat watermelon. Uncle Bob, look at Minnie. He had told me. So yeah, that's one of my Uncle Bob's stories. So I just gotta share that. So any thoughts about this man known as Uncle Bob that people want to share? And we go, Brother Randy.
Oh man, whoever has those archives of Mr. Bob, man, that's some good stuff right there, man. Golly, that's some good archive videos they have that they recorded and documented on him. Hey, whoever did that, kudos to you. You know, like I'm sure there's a lot of educational stuff that'll live on through those videos. But Bob is the pillar of the community. We can't deny that. To Normika and your family, our condolences go with you and your family. I know this was a hard time for you, but we're with you. We all loved him as well, and that's so when Jamal was like, hey, do you want to come on? I was like, sure. You don't even have to ask twice because of what he meant to me as far as, just a neighbor down the street, but fellow veteran. That was our bond. He was a wartime veteran. I'm a wartime veteran. So we had many talks of how we dealt with that, so those was good times that I have and remember with Bob.
Brother Josiah, because you came there, Brother Jazz. Yeah, you came and you said you're gonna get something. But I'm stop. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. For me again, just being in the presence of just his wisdom, listening to him speak about his, military career and talk about the farm, talk about him and his brother, and talk about how long they had it and just how much land they have and the work and just, just I guess I think of planting roots, planting seeds when I'm thinking of him, because that's what I feel like. I feel like this man planted some seeds in me that I'm going to work on and make sure that I nurture and help to grow. So that's what I want to say that I remember and will keep with me in honor of him.
And see, Jazz kind of fronting right now. I expected better of him because Jazz said, I'm going to buy one T-shirt. Then Uncle Bob said, no. Don't you think so-and-so need a T-shirt? Then Uncle Bob said, no. Uncle Bob said, look, see the mugs over there? Get them mugs over there.
3 shirts, 4 mugs. I got about 6 keychains. I'm telling you. Every time I got one, he said, well, I got this other size over here. I said, well, yeah, I'll go ahead and get that one too. But I'll go ahead and get it. Just emptying out my pockets. Nothing left. I had to go back and get change out the car. Nothing left. But I'm happy though. I'm happy. Mm-hmm. Yes, it was worth every penny and more.
Yes, indeed.
And I was just watching. I was just looking from afar. I'm like, okay.
That's right. You were there.
So before we let Mika go and share her account, I gotta do this right here. And also add another Uncle Bob element. It's not gonna be all about Uncle Bob element.
All under your nose. Eat that
So y'all see what's going on? Uncle Bob out here right now at Promised Land. He boiling corn right here. He boiling the corn from Promised Land. He boiling it right now.
Right in the pot.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So we're back. Promised Land corn right here. Uncle Bob, he boiling corn. Flossie right here. So they're doing. So yeah. You see the watermelon, all that right there. Promised Land corn. Now, I'm gonna throw this up here. One of the things too, Uncle Bob tried to get me involved in stuff, dispute with him and Aunt Minnie. I just be there like looking like, okay. And then the last one, him and Flossie got into because Uncle Bob had wanted to burn the field. Flossie said, you ain't gonna burn no field. Uncle Bob said, I'm gonna burn the field. Flossie said, no, it's not. You're gonna burn this place out. I know what I'm doing, Flossie. I'm like, okay. Jamal, should he be burning the field? I'm just looking at Flossie like, okay. Because he like told Greg to go mow the stuff, till the stuff down. I'm like, looking like, I'm trying not to get in that. Even though Uncle Bob had ran over my sweet peas stuff, but I ain't say nothing. I just stand there, like, look. So again, Mika, go ahead.
A good memory that I have, Papa taught me how to drive. And I was getting ready to go in the military. And he said, Pumpkin, he said, let's go for a ride. So we went for a ride. We and I think I don't know if this was when they were staying on 40th Street. I think this is when they were staying on 40th Street. And we started off on I-16. And we ended up on the Talmadge Bridge. Now, mind you, I just got my license, okay? And I'm not saying I was scared of heights like that, but I said, Papa, I don't know about this. I may need to pull over. He said, no, Pumpkin, you keep going. He said, just stay in your lane. That's all you got to do. Stay in your lane, you don't have no problems. So I'm going across the bridge and I'm holding on. And you know that incline, and you just like, ooh, you kind of looking to the side. He said, don't look to the side. Stay in your lane. You stay in your lane. Make sure nobody don't come in your lane where you at. Okay, so that's what I did. So we got over it. We went down a little bit, turned around, and we came back. He said, see, that wasn't that bad. He said, all you had to do is keep going. Stay in your lane and keep going. And that's what I did. And I think that was something that Papa lived by. He stayed in his lane and he kept going. He kept pushing. No matter what, and Papa went through some things, he kept pushing. No matter what his health was doing, no matter what finances were doing, no matter what family was doing, Papa stayed in his lane and he kept pushing. So there you have it.
And utilize his resources. Had no problem. Now, Miss Gloria Yeomans, they get Miss Yeoman to do all type of stuff, decorate, made all that right there all the time. Tell me, send her pictures. They be on me 4 times. Like, did you send the pictures? I said, yes, I sent the pictures. Yes, You did. Rufus Bright did the sign for Promised Land. He was like, all right, I thought this would be here in July. Rufus and all him going at, and I'm right there in the middle. And then bam, I'm like, okay, it's just going at. And then he said to me, one of the words he said to me, he said, Mr. Jamal, don't let nobody tell you not a farmer. Julius Hall, did you hear that, Julius Hall? Because Julius Hall never came out to the farm. Just let y'all know that. He always looked for Julius Hall to come to the farm. Julius Hall ain't never come. Julius Hall said he was too pretty. So, not me. I'm just saying. But, Promised Land. How do we keep Promised Land legacy? Justin Jones, you say Promised Land, I should say be fair. Not just say Promised Land, but land legacy. Randy, you talk about reparations. You talk about Jazz. You talk about land. You talk about retention, culture. Mika, you talk about environment. So how do we still keep it all going? How do we keep it going? Because again, we're gonna give y'all each one of y'all got a minute with regards to this. What's your thoughts with regard? How do we keep it going? Because you alluded to some of it. What are some specific things that you all want us now to throw out, or jewels that you all want to throw out to the people to hit their minds right now? Because this is about preservation, maintenance, legacy, building, capacity, wealth, and all of that. So we go with Mika.
I think if
even though she a bulldog, but we leave that alone.
I think if you carry the Promised Land Farm and the ancestry, if you carry that with you wherever you go, and you take a moment like Papa did, whoever you see, whoever has a listening ear, and talk to them. And it's not, the Promised Land is not just about farming. You reach someone, you don't know where they at, but you may reach them on the level that they need, whether it's finances, whether it's spirituality, whether it's exercise, whether it's gardening, farming. Just reach someone, bring them into the community, help them become active in their community. I think our society is so driven on independency, you know, this whole YOLO, everybody doing their own thing instead of coming together. And that was one of the things our ancestors did. They came together. That was how they got through whatever they were going through. And we have to get back to that. That's my thoughts. We get back to that, and you take your ancestry and you take the Promised Land Farm and Sapelo Island, and you take all of those with you. You know what I mean? Because you're an active unit in your community, and you're helping someone else, and you're bringing someone else to be an active unit in the community to uplift our people in any and every way. So that's how I feel. That's what my thoughts are.
Indeed. Brother Randy.
Oh man, that's a question that could be answered in so many ways. And Normika did it, great job. But let me think about my land over there and the importance of what Jazz said, like holding on to it, right?
Mhm.
The part of, yeah, we're being offered money as well, but the importance of holding on to something that's ours and not selling out for the dollar, right? Because of that's empowerment. That's what our children will see in the future. Like, hey, goes back so many amount of years, and that builds in pride in our own community that somebody holds on to land and preservation. So, I mean, yes, does wealth change lives? yeah, but that's material things that'll change for somebody else because we're going to spend it. But if we hold on to land that can't be made no more because it's there, you can't make more land. If we hold on to that and find a ways of building together as a community, like I would talk with Jazz, I would talk with Jamal, Julius, like other people in California, there's ideas to create generational wealth on property. So if we hold on to that and stick with it, then we still hold on to that title. The white man don't get the title. We still have the title, and we're controlling our own narratives, So I think that's more important key, but that's discussions families need to have amongst themselves, and whatever decision they make. I'm not here to judge that, but I mean, for our family, that's my stance. Everybody else might have a different stance, but that's my stance, and I think that's the only way we can move forward as a Black Gullah Geechee family is to hold on to the land that we do have, because so much of it been taken from the Gullah Geechee corridor anyway. 90%. We only holding on to like 10% of it. We owe that to our ancestors to still hold on to that. But yeah, I know I went over time, but yeah.
No problem, because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let Jazz go ahead and close us out. And then we say, all y'all, thank y'all for joining us on this show dealing with the superhero, Sister Namika, better known as Mika, Brother Randy Quarterman, Brother Jazz Watts. So we'll let you go ahead and close us out, and we'll see y'all next week. But we say check out all our shows on Our Black Media.
Honoring Uncle Bob, and also, your Uncle Bill and the rest of the family, condolences, but just thinking about everything that y'all said about bringing it all together. And that means, bringing it all together in a way that we can help provide, not only support, I'm not talking about financially, emotionally, mental support, but also structural support. When we talk about, master plans, when we talk about conservation easements, when we talk about, different land usage options, making sure that we, do our due diligence to provide, those options, to your family, Mika, so that you're able to make good decisions about what does the future look like, for Uncle Bill and the rest of the family when we're talking about the Promised Land Farms. This is powerful. This is impactful. And that's right. Most of our land is gone. We know that, after the war and everything else and Reconstruction. But man, when we have land right now, oh my goodness. And remember, we can create wealth and still hold on to and still keep our land. We don't have to sell it to create wealth. We got the power to create it right while we possess it and honor our ancestors and their legacy.
And you've heard the word from three great people, Sister Namika, Brother Randy, Brother Jazz. We say check us out on all the shows on Our Black Media, and understand that, again, Mika was wrong. Herschel V. Jenkins High School, Jazz knows better than that, and Randy knows better than that. I need to mute them. We're getting out right now. We're signing out right now. We is gone. Oh,
like that.